Camera speed.
Sound production.
Roll sound.
Rolling.
Sound production. Take 2.
Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? Now, we're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Or, your father was right. You were an idiot, and everything you watched was stupid. So buckle up, movie aficionados. Over-the-top gore? Check. Over-embellished action? Check. Gratuitous nudity? Double check. Storylines so absurd you could drive a semi-truck through those plot holes. Oh yeah, some of those movies didn't even know what a movie plot was. And that's the way we liked it. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
The day. All right. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. We are still on our way to Christmas. And today we are going to preview 1990 something. I have it down here somewhere.
1994, my friend.
1994, Trapped in Paradise with Nicolas Cage, Dana Carvey, and Jon Lovitz. What do you remember about this movie?
Almost nothing. Not
Me
even
too.
going to lie to you. When I saw it on the list, I looked it up because I was like, that name sounds familiar. I saw the pictures and I was like, I've seen this movie. I remember nothing about it.
No.
Nothing.
And it's not like, especially in 94, Nicolas Cage was huge or becoming
Oh, yeah.
very huge. Dana Carvey and Jon Lovitz from Saturday Night Live. I don't know if they were still on Saturday Night Live then, but they were pretty big back then because Dana Carvey would have just done like Wayne's World.
Yeah. They were huge.
Yeah, but I don't remember a lot
Mhm.
about this. I know I've seen it, so I'm actually with you. I do not remember a lot about this movie at all. I do remember liking it, but I couldn't tell you why. Maybe I didn't like it.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, I remember seeing, like, when I saw the poster, I was like, and some of the stills from the movie, I was like, I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
I think I
like
liked
I
it.
know they're brothers. I know that. I know all three of
Mm.
them are brothers, and I know they're robbers, bank thieves, or
And that's all
whatever
you
they
got.
are. That's all I got. That's all I have.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. Well, let's take a look at the box office. December 2nd, 1994. So this movie came out before Christmas. The budget is actually unknown.
hmm
It opened in
Mm.
1,286 theaters and was the number 7 movie that weekend with 2.7. And it closed out at $6 million. I'm guessing this did not do very well.
No,
Like,
I'm
I don't
I'm
see it
gonna agree
having a
with you
budget
there.
of like 2 million or anything.
No, this would have
But
been
yeah,
probably at least 8, I would think. 8 to 10.
like at least, yeah. Now, just for context, that same weekend, The Santa Claus was number 1. It was in its 4th week. Star Trek
Understandable.
Generations was in its
One of my
3rd
favorites.
week. Generations?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, it was the first next gen movie.
Oh, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
it
if it
is
was my
it is one
favorite.
of my favorites. Not my
I
absolute
did.
favorite.
I like all the Star Trek, even the shitty ones. I like.
I know. It's true.
Junior was in its 2nd week with Danny DeVito and pregnant. What's his name?
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Emma Thompson there.
I had forgotten that movie existed.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it was good. I don't think it was like Twins, where I don't think it was that good. But
I don't
who
think so.
knows?
Mm.
Interview with a Vampire was in its 4th week.
That
Low
movie
Down
had
Dirty.
a chokehold on the world.
I did like that movie for some reason. I don't know. Interview with a Vampire. I thought it. Because I was back. That was back in the 90s. Well, 94. And I'm like, Tom Cruise.
See,
No.
Tom Cruise is why I can't. There's something about him. In the 90s, I guess I stopped liking watching him. His 80s movies I can deal with, but 90s, I don't know. Anyways.
But Antonio Banderas, Brad Pitt,
Mm.
Kristen Dunst. Yeah, I actually thought that was a good movie. Low Down Dirty Shame was in its second week. The Lion King, the animated one, was in its 25th week.
Jeez.
And they were all ahead of Trapped in Paradise. So, yeah. It did not do well at the box office. So,
I'm
let's go
concerned.
to the tail of the tape. Oh, it gets worse.
Oh,
Tail
jeez.
of the tape. 1994 holiday comedy, rated PG-13, and it comes in, much like the last movie we did, 1 hour 52 minutes.
Wow.
Tagline. Look. So we're laughing. We have a picture of the three main: Jon Lovitz, Dana Carvey, and Nicolas Cage. And Dana Carvey looks.
Nicolas Cage looked dazed.
Yeah,
Dana Carvey, I don't
looks
know
special.
what face. Yeah, and Jon Lovitz just looks very pleased with himself.
Yeah, Dana Carvey looks like he's only allowed to eat with a spork. All right, taglines: small town, big trouble.
I mean, accurate, but played out.
The Furpo brothers can get away with anything. They just can't get away.
No.
The story of a town that gave so much, even these guys couldn't take anymore.
Actually, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah,
No, that was it.
that's all you need.
All right. Synopsis. Fresh out of prison, Alvin, Dana Carvey, and Dave Furpo, Jon Lovitz, pull their brother Bill, Nicolas Cage, back into a life of crime. But the siblings' foolproof bank heist takes a tailspin when Alvin gets lost in a getaway car. That's how the criminal nitwits wind up trapped in the snowbound burg of Paradise, Pennsylvania, on Christmas Eve, with a bag full of stolen cash, with suspicious police on one side and hospitable townsfolk on the other. Could a change of heart be far away? Man. And here is the poster.
Uh-huh.
I don't mind the poster. The
It's
poster's
a good
pretty cool.
poster.
Yeah.
It's a good poster.
For those listening, it has Nicolas Cage, Jon Lovitz, Dana Carvey, and they're trapped in a snow globe, trapped in paradise. I kind of like that poster.
Yeah. It's a great play on the season and the storyline. So I'm like, it's a very good poster.
Yeah.
Like they
Okay,
did something
so
right.
before we look at the trailer, I stumbled upon this by accident. It is Kevin Pollak talking with Jon Lovitz. And Jon Lovitz, this is a segment where they get on to Trapped in Paradise.
To torture you made me maybe.
It didn't really torture me. It made me laugh. And he's a really nice. I'd met him a few times. Once I met him, I think he was hosting Saturday Night Live, and I'm a big fan of this. And then I got to work with him, and we had a lot of. Well, the three of us had fun, but the movie was like, the director was just a dick. He didn't do anything, and I'll say it. I don't care. I don't want to say his name.
He's been a guest on the show, and he and I wrote a movie together. It's not important.
He has not.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
He was a guest on the show?
Yeah.
Well, what were you thinking? So anyway, all he'd say is he goes, what do we want us to do? Get on the set. He goes, do whatever you want. I go, what? Do whatever you want. Whatever you want. And I'm like, but we need some direction. You can't just do whatever you want. I go, what's the scene? Something.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then 6 weeks in, there was a scene. There's a car, and we rob a bank, and there's all this money in the car in these big bags. So we just got to take the bags out, change clothes. There's all this stuff that you have to work out,
Physical.
And he goes, just do whatever you want. And Nicholas was like, no, we can't just do whatever we want. You got to work it out. And Nicholas goes, okay, fine. So then he just kind of took over. And then after that, the three of us and Jack Green was VP, we just had to kind of take over.
Right.
Otherwise, he might disagree with that. He'll go, oh, I never knew my lines, which is not true.
I'm glad we could uncover this.
But anyway, I called it Trapped in Shit.
So if you go online looking for the movie, look up.
But
Trapped
years
in
later,
Shit.
I saw Nicholas. He goes, "You want to go to an Oscar party or something?" I go, "Yeah." So he's actually at my, and then I have to go to my house and change. I was at his house watching the Oscars.
Right.
So he goes, "You want to go to some parties?" I go, "Yeah." So he came to my house, So I had this Trapped in Paradise shirt in my closet. So I go, just wait, I got to change. So I put it on and I came out. I go, hey, what do you think of this? And he went like, oh, no, take it off. He was like horrified. He didn't even think it was funny. He's like, please.
You were hurting his sensibility.
Well, it was a very tough movie to do.
Let's see if that translates to the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Now I couldn't find the actual trailer. All the trailers, there was something wrong with them. They were unwatchable from YouTube. So I did get a small, a second trailer that's only a minute long. I haven't seen it yet, but I think it gives us an idea of what the movie's about. So here's the second trailer for Trapped in Paradise.
I'm robbing a bank! It's across the street. Breaking in the bank.
On Christmas Eve. It doesn't seem right.
Trying to pull a heist. Who's got the key? Raise your hand. Oh, there's just no way to steal. Far left! As I start going, you idiot! From people that are nice. Why don't you come join my family for Christmas dinner? Dinner's on the stove. Smells good.
Wait till you see the giblet gravy.
Mom is on her way.
You guys are dumber than a box of hair.
They're out to put the money back and save this holiday.
20th Century Fox presents the story of a town so nice. Do you need any money?
Now, we've taken more than our share already.
It's turning 3 wise guys into 3 wise men.
I'm going to put the money back.
You are going to be the first guy in history to get pinched for putting money back.
No!
Trapped in paradise.
You don't aggravate the old witch.
I wish I was a witch. I'd shove my broomstick right up your...
Ma!
And there we have it. What are your predictions? Oh, no, wait. We didn't do the other thing.
We didn't do any of the Rotten Tomatoes or the...
Yeah, we didn't do the Rotten Tomatoes.
I was
My
like,
bad.
this feels short.
Yes. It is. I actually, as soon as I said that, I'm like, wow, we're just fucking killing it. Because we didn't do a whole segment. All right, so we've seen the trailer, we've seen the video snippet, we've seen the box office, the tail of the tape. Let's do Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. So 20 critics, this movie sits at 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Shit.
Now let's do a little math, people, those that are listening. That means 2 people liked it. 10,000 audience members liked it a hell of a lot more than the actual critics, but give it 42%.
Wow.
Critic consensus, loaded with talent, but borderline unwatchable. Trapped in Paradise will leave viewers feeling the first part of the title and pining for the last. All right. Yeah. All right. You may start with the positive.
A just barely watchable endeavor that receives plenty of mileage out of the charming efforts of its various performers. David Nusser, Real Film Reviews, original score 2.5 out of 4.
A just barely watchable. Endeavor, and that's one of the 2 positive reviews.
Jesus Christ.
Has enough in the way of sentiment and goofy situational predicaments to put it over as a serviceable family holiday attraction. Todd McCarthy, Variety. So it just has just enough to make it serviceable. And that's our positive movie. There were a lot more rotten to choose from. Yeah, there was only 2. I was afraid that there wasn't going to be, because sometimes they have a positive, but there's no snippet of the review. So, but at least the 2 that liked it put that in. So, God bless.
That's nice of them. Harmless and totally familiar, it's better than static and infomercials, but that's about the sum of it. Christopher Null, filmcritic.com. Original score 2.5 out of 5.
So it is better than static and infomercials. Great.
Right on.
It's a minor holiday miracle that this homey comedy barely elicits even a chuckle. Janet Maslin, New York Times.
Oh, geez. In no circumstances, even under threat of torture, admit to anyone that you were suckered into seeing this, one of the worst movies of the years. James Berardinelli, Real Views. Gee, James, tell us how you really feel.
These are our borderline IMDb trackings.
Yeah.
And these are critics. Considering that there isn't a single laugh in the whole picture, the term comedy must be used loosely. Hal Hinson, Washington Post.
Oh boy. It should be preserved by the Library of Congress as an example of creative desperation. It plays like a documentary about a group of actors forced to perform in a screenplay that contains not one single laugh, or moment of wit, or flash of intelligence. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times, original score 0.5 out of 4. Dang, Ebert. It's
All
harsh.
right. IMDb. Now, it says 16,000 user
Oh,
ratings and it's got 5.9 out of 10. Now, that's not stellar, but compared to Rotten Tomatoes.
it's stratospheric compared to that.
Yeah. All right. I'll start. Probably the funniest and most underrated film ever. 10 out of 10. March Edge.
Way underrated. 9 out of 10, back marker 81.
No, no, no. It is good. 8 out of 10. Afalatovich. Afalatovich?
Yeah, sure. This movie sucks. Not 7 out of 10. Moni 1981.
Wayne's World.
Oh, yeah.
This film isn't as bad as some people suggest. 6 out of 10. The Sarcologist.
Mm. It isn't bad. It just isn't funny. 5 out of 10. Teague McMartin.
No, if it's a comedy and it's not funny, that is
Then
bad.
it's bad.
What did I just watch? Should have been good. 4 out of 10. Nico 252008.
Trapped, all right. 3 out of 10. Smatija?
Smatija? Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Disastrous comedy. It should come equipped with emergency exits. 2 out of 10. Moonspinner 55.
Not one single laugh. 1 out of 10. Naps.
All right. Now we have done. Now, what's your predictions on Trapped in Paradise?
My prediction is I'm incredibly concerned, and I don't think I'm gonna find it funny. However, do I think it will be without any laughs? No, I think there will still be some laughs. Um, but I don't think I'm gonna find it funny, and I don't think I'm gonna enjoy myself that much, and especially not for 1 hour and 52 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Almost
Yeah,
2 hours
and this
long.
one's a long one.
And yeah, the preview, like, it wasn't a great preview. It wasn't a great trailer.
No.
But when John Lovitz is like, one of them says, "Put your hands up," and John Lovitz is, "Okay, whoever's got the key, put your hands up," and he's like, "Oh," like that was kind of
Oh,
funny.
right.
So I'm
Yeah.
hoping there's. But wow, yeah, I'm. Oof. I
Makes me
like
mad at
all three of them.
No, for sure, and look, Nicolas Cage in the '90s was a moment. Dana Carvey was hilarious, same with Jon Lovitz, gave a lot of laughs through sitcoms, through Saturday Night Live, like, they have the chops to do it,
Yeah,
but if what Jon Lovitz was saying about the director and the experience,
yeah. Just
there's
do
a
what you want.
very real possibility it wouldn't whatever was on the script would not translate to the screen. Although I understand the director's like, "They're 3 funny guys, great actors, let's let them, like, play."
Yeah,
W you I
thinking, but
understand the theory,
not.
but you can't.
No, not everybody is Robin Williams or Jim Carrey, where
No,
you
but
can
even
say,
with
"Do what
Robin
you
Williams
want,"
yeah,
and
but even with them, you give them a couple takes with direction,
yeah, and then you,
and then you let them "You know what? Is there something you guys wanna try? Go for it." That's what you don't just do whatever you want, you know?
yeah.
It's concerning, but, I'm just hoping I don't wanna hurt myself while watching this movie.
I haven't even checked if this movie's on streaming. I don't think it is. I
I
think I'm gonna
don't
have to
I
pay
don't
for this
I don't
shit.
Oh, Disney Plus, apparently.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Disney.
I just
That is
scrolled down
awesome.
and I was like, "Oh, it says Disney Plus on Google, so it should
It
be
is on
fine."
Disney Plus. Yep.
Oh, fantastic. At least we don't have to
Whew.
pay for that one. Might have to pay
Like
for Last Holiday.
Reindeer Games, I was kind of like, and I was fine paying for that. I said it was
Mm,
so bad it was good. You said you weren't overly disappointed with buying it because it was so cheap.
Yeah.
This movie, I don't think this is gonna be a good movie, but hopefully it has. And who knows? It could be one of those ones where it's so ridiculous, it's genius now.
I just want to be mildly entertained because if I'm going to watch this movie for over an hour and a half, like
Oh
almost 2
yeah,
hours,
yeah.
like give me mild entertainment. Just let me not be bored. Let me actually want to finish it and not feel like it's a chore. I'm like, just give me that because it concerns me. It concerns me, these reviews. And it
Oh,
wasn't the greatest trailer.
wasn't the greatest trailer. It wasn't the greatest um from John Lovitz. It was like he
No.
said, I called it trapped in shit.
Yeah.
That does not
So
bode.
it's not getting a lot of encouragement.
No,
So
no, it's not.
I'm really hoping for basic entertainment. Like, just make it so that I don't, like, when the movie's finally done, be like, I can never get back those 2 hours of my life. Like, just don't make me regret it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Even if it's like, well, I saw it. They're like a one-time view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not 20
Where
minutes in going, oh my God.
I have to watch this for another, like, hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
As
all
long
right.
as I don't
Well,
have that feeling, so I'll be good, but I don't know if I'm gonna have that feeling.
I will say this, especially when we go to the 80s and 90s, even if the movie's bad, watching the stuff around it, watching the
Mm.
time can be at least that sometimes helps you get through the bad movie.
Can
So
I tell you how much I wanna see, someone carve a turkey with an electric turkey knife, like a
oh
carving
yeah.
knife? Remember those? So popular for so long,
Yeah.
and I
Christmas
always wanted
Vacation.
one, but we never got one. Yeah.
Yeah, we never had one either. But
No.
used to see it all the time, like on TV and
All
stuff. Yeah.
every TV show, every, like, holiday movie, they all busted out that electric carving knife,
Yeah.
and I was like, Who are these people?" And my mother would be like, "That's for rich people. Your arm works. You don't need that." Mind you, I was the one who had to take over the carving because apparently my brother-in-law was terrible about it. It used to physically hurt my mother's heart to watch my brother-in-law carve a turkey.
I'll just hack
So
away at it.
he was hacking, and my mother wouldn't say it, but I think it's also because he's left-handed. So
Oh,
he wasn't cutting it right according to her. So she was like, "You don't know how to do it." I was like, "He's doing it fine. He's just not doing it the way you like." So then I had to start carving the turkey.
yeah, turkey still tastes the same.
Yes, but if it gets ugly, that would
Yeah.
make my mother
It's not
very angry.
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
because my
nice when
mother
it's
was like,
nice and it's cut properly
"Yeah."
and yeah.
My mother was like, "I made this turkey beautiful. You're gonna mess it up?" But anyways,
All right, well, we're gonna go watch Trapped in Paradise, and when
yeah.
we come back, we are going to review it and see if it is good or not. Okay.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And now, on with the show.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
Look at you with a tinsel Christmas tree.
Yeah, I think it's $1. Where the hell's my? Yeah, it's a dollar store one.
It's okay.
Does my when you were watching that, do I seem muffled?
I don't know if you're muffled or if I'm just louder.
I know it gets fixed when
Yeah.
we do the but anyways,
I get that.
Well, welcome back, everybody. And have you watched the 1994? I don't want to say classic, mainly because it's not. You might think it's a classic.
Fuck no, I don't think it's a classic, but oh boy, have I ever watched it.
But it is a holiday movie, and it's called Trapped in Paradise. So you have seen it.
Yes, I have seen it. I have watched all of it.
Me too. So your initial thoughts?
Oh my god, there's so much wrong with this movie. But not even from like I just feel like every actor was in a like they got different notes. They got a different plot line or like theory of what kind of movie they were in. They all got told something different. And it was possibly one of the most boring movies I've ever watched in my life. And the most confusing.
There were times, like my initial thoughts are officially, there were times that I almost just in this 2-hour movie, I felt trapped, much like they were supposed to be. And it did have, I did have a couple laughs. I was annoyed a lot. Dana Carvey, who I do like,
Yeah.
I really do, was so fucking annoying.
I
Every
love Dana
time he
Carvey.
opened up his, oh Jesus, you like this character,
dude? Literally like 10 minutes into the
okay.
movie, I was like, somebody
Yeah.
stab him in the throat.
Yeah.
If he laughs one more time,
yeah,
I'm gonna lose my shit.
And I'm wondering if that's like, if you took that part out of it, it would have made it a lot better. It wouldn't have been great or anything, but it would have made it a lot better. Because that was one of my biggest pet peeves was Dana Carvey's character. Yeah, because
The character made absolutely no sense.
No. And he said that he based the character on a film producer he knew and a young Mickey Rourke. I'm like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. Like, if you would have done like a Rocky Balboa or a Robert De Niro, something that people would recognize, but even then, with like, that could get old real quick.
His accent was off.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, whose house did you grow up in? Because it's not
Yeah.
the same house as the other two.
No.
Because Nicolas Cage and Jon Lovitz kind of had similar accents.
Yeah.
Still not the same. Similar.
Yeah.
Like they grew up in different boroughs of New York, apparently. Fine. But acceptable. Dana Carvey, I was like, who the fuck? And then at one point he says something's wicked something. And I was like, are we in Boston now? What the fuck happened? I'm so confused. I was so
his accent,
like through the entire thing. I'm like, no.
It didn't even, the continuity wasn't, his accent continuity wasn't even right. Anyways. And I did laugh a few times.
Accent
I guffawed
continuity
a couple
and
times.
Sure, I laughed a couple times too. I think I made a note of like the first time I chuckled and it was well into the movie. Like, I think I chuckled once. But that note happened right after I wrote, wow, this is a shit movie. Actually wrote that on.
And it surprised you with a chuckle.
And then it surprised me with a chuckle. And I was like, whoa, I think I just laughed. Like it makes me so angry when there's potential.
Yeah.
But I feel like nobody knew what kind of movie this was supposed to be. So everybody just made up their own minds and did what they wanted.
Yeah.
And we got this.
Yeah. And there was so much talent in front of the camera. And not just the three main.
Oh my God, so much.
There were so many recognizable so many recognizable people in this movie. And this was the director. This was the director's second movie. His first film he wrote and directed was it's one of my favorite Christmas, non-Christmas movies, a film called 29th Street. And if you like this, you saw glimpses of it in this movie that it was trying to be, but yeah, no, it's like, because his first movie is a barely seen gem, and it's sitting at 76 and 86% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't know what happened with this guy, but we saw that clip with Jon Lovitz and Kevin Pollak. Yeah. Apparently people did not have a good time making this movie. And
Was his first movie a comedy?
it was a comedy drama. Yep.
Okay.
And it had a couple of the actors in this movie, in that movie. The two guys that escaped prison.
See, because I feel like this is a studio intervention problem for this movie. I feel like the studio kind of had the sit down with the director and said, "You've got this great comedic talent,
Yeah,
and
you're
like
making this, and
yeah, just let them go, just let them go." And I'm sure after dailies, the studio sitting there going, "Maybe we can get more funny."
yeah, it could have been. Maybe he like wrote a more
Heartwarming
movie,
because I'm like, I saw them reaching for the heartwarming in this movie.
yeah, maybe that's why he was like going, do whatever you want, I don't give a fuck, because he's all pissed off.
Who knows? Maybe the script was so different.
Yeah, could have been.
When he picked it up the first time, and then he was like, "This is not even what I signed up for anymore."
Yeah. So I don't know. The clip we saw of Jon Lovitz, yeah, well, we'll get to all his scenes.
Yeah.
If Jon Lovitz wasn't in this movie, I literally would have turned it off and come up here on and said, "Fuck, I skip it," because I didn't even fucking watch it. Because he was the only funny thing in this friggin' movie. No, that's not true. The mom and the criminals were kind of funny.
The mom I liked.
Yeah. They're all back and
half.
forth with the criminals.
Yes.
Yes, that was good.
That was good.
And those lines that they were that was a lot of the barking. It was about this family. His first movie is about this family. They talked a lot like that to each other. It was about an Italian family back in the 60s. So there was a lot of talk like that in that movie. So I saw the director's work and the writer's work. So something got messed up. I can see why Nicolas Cage has trauma about it.
Honestly, I can see why all of them would have trauma about it.
Oh. All right. So let's go over Trapped in Paris. If you're listening, you can see where this is heading. Okay.
Spoiler.
Yeah. At Christmas time, New York City convicts Dave and Alvin Furbo are paroled early and placed in the custody of their younger brother Bill, a restaurant manager. Let's go back right off the hop. Bill, Nicolas Cage finds a wallet. He goes through it. It has a few $100, or I think it said it had
800.
Yeah, $800.
It was $800. Yes.
Tells a priest. It's a priest in Catholic religion, right?
Yes, correct.
Tells him he finally returned the wallet and the money, and it was really hard to do, and that he's worried when his brothers get out next spring, he'll fall right back into his old ways. And the priest tells him they're coming home for Christmas because the jails are overflowing, and if parole's coming up, they get to go home early. Mm-hmm. Then we go to the parole board, and Dave and Alvin, Dana Carvey and Jon Lovitz. Lovitz, being Jon Lovitz, is going on about pterodactyls flying above his prey. Oh,
pterodactyls. I was like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck is he talking about?
I expected it to be in like the cafeteria, that scene, and he's just like waxing poetic to some random inmate. No, it was the parole board.
And I must not. I just the presence of Jon Lovitz is funny. Like whenever he shows up in something, he's just funny. He doesn't even have to really act. He just has to be himself.
Yeah, see, no, I need him to act.
Yeah, well, yeah, acting helps.
I need him to act.
When I see he just has to be Jon Lovitz, like I'm thinking Saturday Night Live. He just has to be.
Here's the thing about Jon Lovitz that I think saved this movie. I didn't make me want to stab myself in the eyes. He still has incredible timing, and you can tell he was trying.
Yeah,
he had probably the most consistent character.
Yeah,
in this entire movie.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Thank you, sir, for staying steady. I appreciate you."
Yep, I agree. Carvey, on the other hand, annoyed me right away. which is too bad. And like I said, doing some Mickey Rourke thing, I'm not sure was spot on, but do Sylvester Stallone, do Mike Tyson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, De Niro, I don't know. Taxi Driver, what's his name? Travis Bickle. Yeah, anything else. Yeah, he could have been Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver and he's not tough at all. That would have been funny. You're right. Anything else would have been better.
Honestly, if he had just
been Dana Carvey,
don't put on a voice, because he's like talking 3 octaves higher and super breathy and soft. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I would have liked it better if he was the church lady.
Yeah. Something. I would have still questioned the Minnesota accent, but I'm like,
Yeah.
this is fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, it was just Dana Carvey. As soon as he started speaking, I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be brothers. They sound nothing alike. And when I say nothing alike, I mean like speech patterns or accent, nothing.
No, nothing at all. And Jon Lovitz can only be Jon Lovitz. He's not going to give you a whole lot of depth. I'm sorry, Mr. Lovitz, but he's hired to be Jon Lovitz.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage looks like he's trying at times, most of the time.
He is looking like he's trying. And also, can I point out that the subway station where he finds the wallet, that's Queen and University.
Oh, is it?
That's the TTC. That's in Toronto. Because I used to walk down that set of subway steps all the time. And I was like, it's Queen and University. What?
Yeah, I think now that you actually said that, I think back in the day, I think that's maybe why I wanted to watch this movie, because it was filmed in Ontario.
Mm.
But yeah, all right. Yeah, and everyone looks like they're acting, but I'm sure after you get a director like do whatever you want, and Dana Carvey doing, I'm sure the editor was like, "The fuck am I supposed to do with this?"
This is why I have a deep feeling that somebody broke the director down before they started filming.
Yeah, like he gave up. He was already done. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, fuck it. Like, I can't even. This is not what I wanted to do. So we're just gonna let it go.
Collect my paycheck.
Pretty much.
Dave and Elvin asked Bill to take them to Paradise, Pennsylvania, to do a favor for a fellow inmate of theirs. Bill refuses, as his brothers are not allowed out of the state, but agrees after believing himself to be linked to a robbery his brothers committed. Okay, so far, other than Carvey's character, it's not bad.
No, it's not bad per se. It's not good. It's still feels a little jumbled, and it still feels a little rushed.
Yeah.
Like it's very mismatched almost.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not terrible other than Carvey.
Like, he meets them at the prison. They try to tell him about that letter. He doesn't believe them. For everyone listening, they say that a guy in prison who wants them to go to this town in Paradise and find his daughter, who refuses to speak to him. And they want Lovitz and Dave and Elvin to beg her to call him. Bill doesn't believe them. They stop off for milk and cookies or ring dings.
Yeah, ring dings.
Even in the store, they're just stealing shit.
Yeah.
Like the ladies in the back, and they're just taking fistfuls of cash.
And I'm like, why did Bill let the mom take responsibility for these two incredible losers?
Yeah.
But it has to be Bill. Bill, who with the broke down car, who's trying so hard just to go straight and be a good restaurant manager at like a 5-star dining establishment. And I did feel a little bad for him, but also I feel like everybody was high on something. I don't know what, but everybody was high on different drugs for this movie.
Yeah. Oh, well, Lovitz said they did have a good time filming it, like just hanging out with people. And maybe that's what he meant.
Valid.
So the store owner calls the cops. Cops chase them. Bill tackles his brothers and pretends to be a detective and tells the officers to go get the car and bring it around. And then they take off. They go see their mother. I like her. She was great in the movie.
No, she's great.
Yeah.
I like her. She was a good break from the lead actors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible. It's terrible, but yeah.
When they discover Paradise's bank is light on security, Bill agrees to rob the bank. Okay. Okay, let's back up. Bill is at work. He's the restaurant manager.
Mm-hmm.
Dave shows up and tells him that the cops are looking for him because he dropped his wallet when he was pretending to be a cop. And then he checks and he can't find his wallet. So they have to lay low. So Dave suggests, hey, let's go to Paradise, Pennsylvania and do that thing we were going to do. Because earlier the mother read the letter and that part was funny. And
yeah,
it said, remember how I protected you here? And if you don't do this, I'll put my throat,
I'll pull your head off and shit down your throat.
That's it. The mother's reading it.
Love that. And she's tearing up while she's reading. She's like, oh, and if you don't do it, I'll tear your head off and shit down your throat. This is great.
So they start by, so they go to Paradise. They start off by hitting a deputy on a horse or almost hitting him.
Almost hitting him.
The sheriff comes along and apologizes because the deputy's son is a little slow. Because when they almost hit him, they look at the deputy and they're like, is this guy retarded? And if you're watching a movie and you hear the R word, it was made pre-2000.
Yeah, I think in the late 90s it started to become socially uncomfortable.
Tropic
but
Thunder
in the 2000s was when they started saying don't use it, but nobody listened.
Using it. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
By 2010.
By 2010, it was a very clear hard line. Don't use the R word.
Don't use the R word. This movie
1994 did not get that memo.
No, this movie used it a few times. So if you're very sensitive, just what is it? Trauma warning? Trigger warning?
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
Well, no, I think if you're going to watch anything made before 2020,
yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, if you have
there's
triggers,
a built-in trigger warning.
Shouldn't at all.
Watching anything before 2000.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'd even say 2010. Yeah, 2010.
So I'm thinking of all the Step Brothers and Tropic Thunders and Hangovers and
all the road trips.
Those are all the 2000s.
Yeah. So anything 2010 and before has already an assumed trigger warning because there's going to be stuff that we either just didn't know or we did know and we chose to ignore it.
Just didn't care.
Yep.
And then the sheriff, they asked the sheriff if they know a Sarah, and he says there's only one Sarah and she happens to work at the bank. Bill's starting to get suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And to say the bank is light on security, I could rob it with my kids waiting in the car. Jesus Christ.
Correct.
Okay, now just looking ahead before they rob it, Bill does have a bit of conflict about robbing the place. I know that. I remember that. It didn't take him much though. And the part with Dave, well, we borrowed this car from this friend. He might even have a gun or two in the back.
Oh, look, there are guns.
Yeah, a whole arsenal.
Yeah, all like slotted into foam.
Yeah.
So they don't rattle around.
They go to the store and buy ski masks. At first, buying your heist attire in the small town you're about to rob, that's not a good idea. Why was it in the back of the truck with all the car with all the guns?
Because
I knew they needed it for that save at the end, but
also they needed to decide in town because Bill was still, we are not robbing a bank, we're hiding from the cops. Like them's the rules.
Yeah.
And then they were like, but look, old dude sleeping. $275,000. Come on, it'll be easy.
Yeah.
And then Bill folds.
Yeah.
God damn it, Bill.
And then they go to the Starboy, the ski mask. I know. This whole I didn't like that scene in the store. I know it set up the ski mask thing. I know it set up the two guys that were going to be pulled at like a side plot. But yeah, it was So
That scene
dumb.
should have been super
Wasn't funny.
rewritten. It wasn't
Yeah.
funny. It was trying to be funny and failing at it, which just made it even sadder.
And that almost like you said, it looks like that was studio. Well, why doesn't he put his hands in? He steps on the cereal to make
Yeah.
noise. Yeah, it was.
He was like, let him make it funny.
Yeah. So they go and rob the store. The vault is locked, and the president, because they go in the bank. The security guard never even wakes up,
No.
and they should have made a movie just about John Lovitz robbing shit. I would watch that.
Yeah, because there's only one key to the vault,
One key to the
and the
vault
president has it. The president is on his lunch break.
on his lunch break. Yeah. So after chasing the girl around, she finally gives up the location. He's over at the diner. Clifford Anderson is the bank manager. Yeah. He's on lunch. So while Dave stays in the bank, Alvin and Bill charge into the restaurant and take Mr. Anderson and the restaurant patrons back to the bank. This was really stupid and silly. It was kind of funny, but it was way over the top.
I think this scene is supposed to really drive home the fact that they are so inept.
Yeah.
And cool. I get that. But this took it beyond inept.
Yeah.
This took it beyond, kind of stupid. This was straight moronic.
Character. Yeah.
Yeah. This was excessive. And it ruined any momentum we could have possibly built.
Yeah.
Because now it's just completely ridiculous. Like, I need a bigger word for that.
Yeah.
Ridiculous is not enough.
Redonkulous.
It went out into the stratosphere of just stupid. And at that point, I'm just like, why? Why are we doing this?
Yeah. And again, it could have been a studio guy. It would be funny if they had to take the entire diner back. That would be funny.
It probably.
And the poor director's like, where's my my script?
There's an episode of Supernatural where it's in the early seasons, when they're still fresh and young. But they go to Hollywood and they're investigating, I don't know, sightings of ghosts on a studio lot. And
I think I remember that one.
yeah, it's basically they're filming a horror movie there. And I don't know, one of the grips ends up dying. Anyways. So they start talking, and the entire premise of the episode, spoiler alert, is that the writer who they thought was a PA because he wasn't actually doing anything had his entire script completely rewritten. And every time one of the studio executives said, maybe we could throw some of this in. Guy's like, yeah, I got that. And then the next day there would be new pages.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting there going, none of that makes sense. Yeah, well, whatever. What are you going to do? So anyways, that's always what pops into my head whenever I watch a movie like this, because I'm like, some studio guy was fucking sitting there slurping on a smoothie being like, so let's make it really weird.
Yeah. Because it had the skeletons of a feel good with a lot of humorous parts in it. And then they just wanted a zany.
They turned it into a slapstick zany
cornball. Yeah.
Over the top. Just ridiculous movie. And I'm like, I kind of see where you were going originally, and I would have liked that.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Now the parts that the diner part was so bad. But the whole parts with Jon Lovitz getting them to sing Christmas carols and doing what they're told so they don't get killed. Yelling put your hands up at the security guard who's still sleeping, and he's laughing do you think he got his Christmas bonus early and drank? And he's laughing at himself. And then he gets him to do yoga, and he's like, this is really great for stressful situations like this bank robbery, or if you ever go to prison surrounded by a bunch of men. Those parts were funny, and thank God Jon Lovitz was in this movie, because that was the only thing that made me, like you said.
But even then they ruined his momentum because they would cut away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just give me 5 minutes straight of him.
Yeah.
Making jokes, being really awkward with the hostages, maybe asking someone for a recipe or something. Just give me 5 minutes straight.
Yep.
Instead of this cutting back and forth where you give me a minute with him, and then you're cutting to, and I'm like, oh. And also somebody shoot Nicolas Cage a Xanax, because
They look
poor,
tired.
he was just, he always looks tired,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Although I do think he had his eyes done at one point in the 2000s and possibly a facelift, but we're not talking about that. But he almost went into a frenzy whenever his character was dealing with his brothers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it was too much.
Yeah, it was over the top too. And that could have been another thing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get more? Can we,
Yeah.
like, he's really crazy. Let's get more. I have a feeling there was a studio guy on set 24/7, like whispering in the director's ear, and the director was just like, more, make it funny.
Do whatever you
Still
want.
talking.
Bill and Dave gain access to the vault and soon rush out of the bank with $275,000, with Alvin driving the getaway car. Bill trips the alarm with the low-hanging bag. While trying to get out of town, Alvin gets them lost. Oh, first off, why the fuck did Alvin speed away like that? There was no...
No, because it was either someone rear-ended him or they honked at him or something because he was swearing. I don't know. I think my eyes closed for a little too long at that point. I was still listening, but then I opened my eyes and I was like, oh, and then he like sped away because he's like, all right, I'm going. And he just leaves his brothers there.
Yeah. While trying to get out of town, Alvin gets them lost. A police car turns on the sirens and they try to evade getting caught. Because of slick roads, they drive off a bridge. The police officer does not see them crash and drives past the bridge. But another car stops and offers them a ride. Due to the interstates being closed, the man takes them to his relatives. Upon arriving at the house, they find out it is the house of bank president Mr. Anderson and family. However, the relatives don't recognize him and treat the brothers with generosity. That part with the presents was funny. Kind of.
That was, I'm not gonna lie, every time Jon Lovitz was like,
gets
what is it?
excited.
What is it? Is it clothes? And he keeps sniffing the box. I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, for those listening, they're all dirty and stuff. They were in an accident. So Mr. Anderson always gets clothes every year. He knows what he's getting, so he gives them 3 of his presents. I have clothes in it. Vic Mazuki, the inmate who gave Dave and Alvin the tip about the low security of the bank, gets enraged that they robbed the bank and busts out of jail. These two are funny. The two convicts. Yes. These are the 2 guys that are from 29th Street, and they basically play the same characters. He and his henchmen.
I just want to say one thing. While they are funny, they are still working with the material they are given. So I was not guffawing. I was smiling with them. Continue.
The part that I found funny with, the only part I really found funny with them is, well, with the mom.
Yeah.
And with Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
We'll get there.
I will give you that.
And it wasn't like slap my knee and spit my pop out of my mouth funny or anything like that. It was humorous.
I was wondering where you were going with the spit.
Yeah. He and his henchman Caesar take the Firpo's mother Edna hostage and threaten to kill her unless they give him the stolen money. So when Dave calls to see if quote unquote heat is still on Bill, Vic is on the other end and he pretends everything is all right and doesn't let Bill talk to his mom. After several go ahead.
No, it was just a deep sigh because that entire scene, I was just like, take the phone from your brother. Instead of just standing there being like, well, what's she saying? What's going on? Why are you looking like that? And I'm like, just fucking do something. But anyways.
And the Dana Carvey thing with the gravy and it was so annoying.
So weird.
I know, it's just like you could tell the director literally just said, do what you want.
And it was like the giblet gravy and I was like, oh my God. This is making me so. Why are we still focusing on this gravy? We had literally a solid 30 seconds of him pouring gravy
pouring
all over
gravy.
his
Yeah.
plate. 30
Yeah.
seconds. I said,
And
you
everyone
wasted
was just
film on that?
smiling at him. Yeah.
They wasted film on that.
After several failed attempts to escape and finally getting on their feet, Bill and Elvin decide to return the money to the bank. Okay, we missed a bit here.
Yes.
Fucking Wikipedia. You're as shitty as this movie. Once again, my philanthropy work has done nothing
Yes.
to improve Wikipedia.
God damn it, Jimmy.
So there are a couple side stories going on. The FBI show up. Richard Jenkins plays the head guy. You might not know his name, but if you see him, you know him. He's been in, holy frig, I don't know how many things, tons. Ed, the owner of the store, and his buddy, I can't remember his name, are positive that the three who came in and bought the ski mask are the ones who robbed the bank. But they, instead of telling authorities, they decide to rob the robbers. So first, the three brothers decide to leave by bus. Yes.
They have to leave by bus.
Bill
to
goes,
Philadelphia.
Yeah. Bill goes to pay. He's short on money, but can't get into his bag for the money because there's cops everywhere. The ticket lady pays for him because he has such a sad story. Such a nice place. Apparently, not this town. My town.
I live in Toronto. Next. Do you think anybody's paying for the balance of my ticket in Toronto? Please.
No.
They'll laugh me off the bus.
And then they have a scuffle outside with Ed and the police, and the three have to go back. Then they decide to go by canoe or boat, some sort of boat. They're way out there. A helicopter comes roaring down the river, like not in the river, above the river, like fucking helicopters do. So they jump out of the water, and Dave and Bill get to shore. Alvin, of course, doesn't make it, and he's stuck on a rock. The house they land
with the horse and the sleigh.
No. This is when they're trying to paddle their way out down the river.
Oh.
And then they see the search helicopter coming.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they jump out and swim for it, and Alvin doesn't make it. So the people there at that house, they come out and make a human rope in the freezing water. Not me. I'd be like, he's done for. Let him go. Let's go have some cocoa. Yeah. They drag him out, bring him inside to the fireplace. Alvin seems completely dry.
And
then
I had that exact same thought, except when they went in for a close-up,
you could see a bit of water.
You could see some water, and I was like, "Oh, he's wearing a wool sweater." That was my thought.
Oh, and then he receives the worst first aid I have ever seen. And then he just spits up some water, and he's fine.
Yeah.
Then they head to church, and then this movie was a comedy, a romantic comedy. Then the only romantic part of the movie, which doesn't fit the story at all. Like usually there's like these stories, the guy and the girl already have a past and run into each other, or they haven't known each other from another day,
or they have conversations
throughout
the day that they have met,
or more than one day,
or more than one day, or more than like 4 words said to each other at any one point.
Yeah, because it was just at the bank, and there was like only a few things said, and it wasn't pleasant.
And then there was at
the house. Yeah,
a few things said wasn't pleasant or friendly, other than Nicolas Cage like throwing "Hey there, come hither" looks.
Yeah,
but I'm like that is not enough.
And then now at the church.
Yeah,
I don't even remember what they talked about.
I don't think they actually had a full. I think it was just literally like, I brought the money here.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was it.
And she kind of like hints that she knows that they did it.
Yeah.
And that they better get out, or yeah.
Well, she was the one who like set up the bus and looked up the bus time and was like, "Oh, there's a bus leaving in like 20 minutes. You should probably go." It goes to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Jon Lovitz's character was like, "But we're supposed to go to New York." Like, and he was like, "We can catch a train. Let's go." Bill just wants to get out of there, man.
Yeah.
He just wants to leave.
But then he's romanticizing with Sarah. Yeah, it's a very scattered movie. Yeah. Anyways,
They had conversations apparently with their eyes that we were not privy to.
yeah, I should have, when I was younger, went to Paradise. Chicks are easy. Just have to have a couple conversations and they're ready to start a life with you.
Yeah.
Then
four basic polite conversations, you can get married.
Yeah.
In Paradise.
They decide to take the horse and sleigh to get out of town, and the police car spots them. And then the most ridiculous, mildly amusing car chase begins with the FBI. They get rid of the police, and I think cross state line or county line because they seem to think they're home free. Not like the FBI has federal jurisdiction or anything like that. Because they kind of like, oh, we made it.
They're all relaxed, and I think they're in a field. They leave the horse and sleigh, and they're like, oh, it'll be fine. And then they go to like this car. I don't know.
Yeah, flag down a ride.
They flag down a ride, and then Dana Carvey's having a moment. Bill's having a moment. Like Dana Carvey finally started to like waver a little bit on like how evil he wanted to be. And then the horse like startles, I guess, and crashes through the ice.
Yeah.
On the water.
And Bill and Alvin rush to save him.
Let's not use the word rush.
No, not rush.
Bill stares at the horse for a while. I'm like,
yeah,
dude.
and like, man.
And then he's like, fine. And then he like goes, and then Alvin like joins him. But I'm like, I'm mad at you for how long it took you to go save that horse.
And Jon Lovitz swears at the car and goes and kind of helps them.
Yeah.
And then they save the horse, lose the ride. And then they go to the diner with the horse and sleigh outside. So stupid.
It's what you do.
Alvin reveals to Bill he is not wanted in New York and that they scammed him. Upset, Bill leaves his two brothers, then heads off to return the money and asks strangers for a ride to Paradise. By coincidence, he winds up getting a ride with Vic and Caesar, who are holding his mother hostage in the trunk. Yeah, I like that. Like, do you guys hear that? And they're like, no, we don't hear nothing. And then it does it again. It sounds like this. Oh, that. Yeah, we've been hearing that all night. And I did. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, what happens? Oh, Bill. Okay, it's right here. Okay, read the fucking thing. Bill shows his mother's. Bill shows them his mother's picture, whereupon Vic tries to shoot him so he can get the money Bill has in the bag. Bill jumps out of the car and escapes, rescued by Dave and Elvin. This scene did not make a lot of sense. I thought it was funny as soon as he saw the picture of the mom, he pulled out his gun and tried to shoot him. And then even when he jumped out of the car, he came out and started just shooting and all that. A car was coming, so they back up. The car goes by, and then they take off. Like, where the fuck? Nicolas Cage couldn't have got that far, and he had. I know they had to get to the house, and it's just the scene was not good.
No.
Okay.
No, it was not.
So they now try to get the money back into the bank, but trigger the alarm. And then there's a big cage, so they can't put it back. I don't know why they just didn't leave it there. Then they give the money to a church with a letter requesting to return it to the townspeople. Would have been awesome if this movie ended with the priest on a tropical island.
Or a bender in Vegas.
Just said, just fucked everybody and left. Trying to get away, inept shoekeepers Ed and Clovis is his name, who had sold the furpos, the ski mask, before the robbery, recognize them and want the money for themselves. Ed and Clovis grab the brothers and take them to the Andersons' house. While followed by the police, Vic and Caesar are holding the Andersons hostages, along with Timmy, the sheriff's son, Edna and Sarah, Vic's daughter, and tenant of the family. The police see the license plates on the car in the front of Anderson's house are from a stolen car and therefore order Vic and Caesar to come out with their hands held up. While the inmates are busy figuring out what to do, they get attacked by Timmy, who immobilizes Caesar and shoots Vic. The police rush into the house and take everyone to the office. There, FBI agent Shaddis, whatever, who cares, tries to figure out what happened. And because the townspeople hide what they know about Bill, Alvin, and Dave, and the church pastor returns the money to the police, they release them. I get the sentiment of the movie, but this is like Last Holiday hokey.
Do not take Last Holiday's name in vain and reference this movie to that. No.
I will give Last Holiday this. I could follow Last Holiday. I could follow it, and yeah, like at least it had a piece of storyline going.
It built. This doesn't build anything.
No.
It's just throwing paint at a wall and seeing what sticks. And it's disorienting and it's confusing and it's unbelievable.
And that's not it. Because Bill stays in paradise to be with Sarah while Alvin and Dave return to their mother in New York. Yeah. Bill and Sarah, who talked for 2 minutes in the bank, a couple times at the house and at the church, and they're going to go off and have a life together.
Yep. And they kiss face and start walking down the street holding hands.
And they get a romantic comedy classification.
There was no fucking romance.
No, yeah, a mislabel if there ever was one. And that's our movie.
Jiminy crickets.
I'm pretty sure everyone can guess where our scores are heading. What's your score?
Skip it. Skip it. Never watch this movie. It's terrible. Absolutely. And not even like a good terrible. Because sometimes there's a good terrible. This is just bad. This is 2 hours of why the fuck did I do that? That's what this is. Don't do it. That's all I have to say.
So you'll never watch it again?
Oh, fuck no. If for nothing else, Dana Carvey's performance drove me up the fucking wall. Jon Lovitz was the only one who seemed to have decided who his character was going to be and actually acted that way.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage was so weird through this, and not like in a Nicolas Cage kind of weird way, which everybody loves. This was just like he went from perfectly normal to losing his mind to, being kind of like, it was very first day of acting class, and it was so frustrating. And then they have a really great support cast.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if they had just removed the three brothers, I would have watched a movie about this town. And
it would have been a Hallmark movie.
It would have been a Hallmark movie, and it would have been a good movie. It would have been, because if you just took out the three main characters, the rest of the movie was fine.
Yeah.
They just gone done fucked it up. Also, it was this movie, and half of the cast was having a fucking identity crisis, and it plays out on screen.
Yeah.
Work that shit out with your therapist, not with me watching it.
There we go.
That's all I have to say about that. What did you think?
Well, I wrote mine down. Like I always do, mostly, sometimes. Trapped in Paradise is a very complex movie where it doesn't have to be. While the story, silly, is funny. The actors, funny. A lot of funny lines pop up. Made me kind of giggle and chuckle. But does the good outweigh the bad? No. There was way more bad than any amount of funny in this movie. Trapped in Paradise is a mess. And with just a few tweaks, could have been a holiday classic. Lose the romance or put more into it. Make it a past relationship. I don't know, whatever. Lose Dana Carvey, or like someone should have said, no, Dana, no. Use any other voice. A hell of a lot more continuity, a little more direction. Yeah, and this could have been a decent holiday movie.
Yeah.
In the end, a silly story with great actors that could have made a Christmas classic is just a Christmas movie forgotten back in 1994, like the shitty ornament your kids make in kindergarten. You try to hide in the back of one of the Christmas boxes, but they always find it. And
those
they want it up. They
go on the back of the tree.
You'd think that's where the ones would no. And they're like, why is my why is my ornament on the back of the tree? And I got a lot of kids. There are a lot of shitty ornaments on my tree. I give it a skip it.
Mm.
Yeah. If you are morbidly curious, maybe streaming in the background, but you will be sorely disappointed. I mean, yes, I did say Jon Lovitz was funny, but it's not that funny to warrant 2 hours of this movie.
No.
No, it had everything going for it. It had a lot of potential, but it's a bad movie. Yeah.
Well, in this movie, I can see the movie that they wanted to make, and I can see the movie that they could have made.
Yep.
And that's, I think, making it more frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this could have been good. But these are definite choices that have made it bad.
And you could have said that the director had a great script and the studio screwed it up with it. So the director gave up, and this is what we had. Had the director said, all right, okay, I'm going to take all this and try to direct it as best I could, you might have got a better movie. You might not have, though. I mean, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
No.
Unless someone wants to remake it and rewrite.
Yeah.
To fix everything we think is wrong with it.
Yeah. And if you're listening, you should never know. So don't watch it because you will have the same questions.
Yeah. You will spend your life going, was it the studio? Was it the director? Was it just somebody else on set whispering in people's ears?
Yeah.
Was there a saboteur?
Yeah, no, I was disappointed. Like I said, I did like a couple parts were amusing. There were a couple of giggles but yes, no way. Yeah, no, I'm not watching this again.
No, nothing in this movie warrants the runtime. Not even a little bit.
No, yeah, it's not even worth the one. Yeah, not even worth the one time, let alone again.
Nope.
All right, so 2 skip it. So that's shitty for me. I started out so strong on our holiday movies. 2 good ones, one so bad it's good, one good one. I did not like Last Holiday. I'll say this: I'd watch Last Holiday before I watched this movie again.
Last Holiday is a fucking classic. It is a fucking classic, my friend.
Yeah.
Although I will say this very honestly, we need to do a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, we should.
So,
maybe we should sneak one in as a bonus.
That's what I was thinking. We can do a Hallmark bonus episode.
Yeah,
I'll pick out the Hallmark movie.
Sure. Yeah,
Because you don't know. It's fine.
I have no clue.
I'll figure out what's available on Prime, and then we'll set this up.
All right. Anything else about Trapped in Paradise?
It's terrible. It's so terrible. Although I will say this, Wendy Moniz is who, although I don't know how she pronounces her name, because she's part Portuguese, so it's a Portuguese last name. Anyways, she is the love interest in this movie. I know, surprise, surprise.
She's very familiar.
Apparently, looking at someone like 4 times makes you a love interest. She used to be married to Frank Grillo, who was in the Marvel movies.
Yep.
Yes.
I like Frank Grillo.
Because they were both on the same.
He makes some good movies too.
Yeah. Same soap opera. And that's where they met, and they were married for like 20 years. Just thought I'd throw it. Because when I saw her, I was like, is that her? Is that? I think it is. And I believe it was her. However, if I'm wrong, by all means, tell me. But I'm pretty sure it was her.
All right.
Anyways,
well,
that's it.
thank you
That's all
very
I have
much.
to say, 'cause that was my one and only happy part.
All right. Thank you very much, Trapped in Paradise, for the lump of fucking coal you put in my I was gonna say VCR. Put on my TV. Fucking piece of shit. Yeah. So until the next time we remember liking a movie. Take care.